Good morning everyone, I hope you're all well and I hope you had a good weekend. I am halfway, I'm filming this on Sunday morning, it's 10:20 and I'm halfway through 2 of the books, so I hope to finish them today, but obviously when I finish them I've still got to review them. I don't have to review them. I don't have to review them, but I think it's nice to be nice, and if you're a writer you don't only need your readers, you also need your fellow writers, and so many of the writers on WordPress have been extremely kind to me and left me lovely reviews on my books, so I feel that I have to pay it back. I think it's nice to pay it back. So yeah, I'm halfway through 2 of the books. One is a poetry book, the other 2 are memoirs, and the one I'm halfway through is quite intense, and I think the other one will be quite intense. I've not started that yet. So that's what I did yesterday. We had torrential rain here yesterday and thunder and lightning, so yeah, it was a good excuse for staying in my pyjamas all day. And I did write as well yesterday. I'm happy to say that my writing's going really well at the moment. If you've not been here for a while, you maybe don't know I get asked this quite a lot, or sometimes my writing process is old school. Most of the time I write on cheap reporter pads. Please forgive my voice, I've not even had tea yet. What I'm finding now, which is it's really good, is that if I get a spark, just a tiny inkling of a spark, and I come on here and I put the spark into Grammarly, and not to use AI part of Grammarly, but I always use the part of Grammarly that corrects my punctuation once I've done a rough copy, because my punctuation is so bad. I'm finding now that even if I just put that spark in and stand here, I can whiz off I can't whiz off a computer. I can whiz off a poem. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll go with that one. I will go with that one. I think that is, rather than putting it down on paper, and well, I'm saving the cheese. So that's been my weekend so far. I probably will try and carry on with the books today and see if I can get them done. The reviews I always find hard to write, because I like to give a book justice, and I find a review hard to write. I never feel like I'm giving it the right amount of justice, and again, as a writer, reviews are very important, especially like myself. If you're not that well known, reviews do count. You're not going to buy a book from somebody if you go on Amazon where they don't have very many reviews, or they have no reviews. So reviews are really important. They are really important. So I'm going to read off this poem from my phone again, because I've already posted it on another platform, and my nose is starting to run as well, and I don't have a handkerchief. This poem is called Underneath the Skin, and it's basically, I would say, so the synopsis would be that we never really know what's going on with a person, and we should not judge. But I know that, we all make judgment calls. We read the book, or with based on the cover, which we shouldn't do. People are deep, people hide a lot, people have been through a lot, people have been through things that they just can't come back from, and that's not a flaw, that is just how it is. In a world now where anything less than perfect, I would say, is unacceptable. There's so much emphasis on being perfect, but a lot of it, and I've said this in previous videos, a lot of what you see on here and on media platforms, it's an act. I'm not saying everybody that comes on YouTube is not real, but a great deal of it is an act, and it's a performance. It's a performance to gain likes, comments, whatever. I can't perform. What you see is what you get. When I first started this channel, and you know it, Sheila, every second word was a mess up, was a boo-boo. I used to get my dates wrong, I used to come on the wrong days. You'll have seen me coming on breaking down in tears. You'll have seen me with my headscarf on. That's not fake, that is real. And again, it's not a flaw. If you don't show the vulnerable parts of yourself and the crappy parts of yourself, you are doing yourself a disservice, because all these parts of you combined make you who you are. So if I was to come on here and just sit here with a pre-arranged script, that's not me. That is not me at all. The only thing that's pre-arranged is my writing, because I do like my writing to be, I don't like to read a rough copy. I like to read it after I've fed it into Grammarly, so it's properly punctuated, because sometimes Grammarly picks me up, well, quite a lot. That's the first noise on the phone. It does pick me up on my clarity and my punctuation. Other than that, there's nothing pre-arranged or pre-written. It's as it is, as it is. And if you hide any part of you that is not perfect, I'm sorry, but you're not being real, and you're not showing your authenticity, basically. But again, as I always say, that is only my perception. That is only my individual perception of how I see things. So I'm going to read this poem off my phone in case it makes another noise, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I will be I always post at midnight on a Sunday. I hope you have a great week, and I will be back on Friday. I've not done anything about new collections or anything like that yet. I went and I have no idea how many poems I have ever written. I keep all my poems in a folder on my PC, and I looked the other day and it told me there's 1,500 poems on there, and there's probably more somewhere else. That is one hell of a lot of poems, and so from them I've got to decide to pick at least 40 or 50 to go in a collection, So yeah, putting together a collection does not happen overnight, and it is your baby, as I say. You don't want to rush out, you want it to do well. So I am going to take my time, but there are 2 collections that I would, but I'm not going to pressurise myself. I think probably the biggest one would be a follow-up to Pieces of Me, and to let people see where I am at now. And the other one is the other one, that would take too long to explain. So I'm going to read this poem now, because I'm nearly 11 minutes. I know I do rabbit on. Underneath the skin, fragility holds on with threads, anxiety hidden away from prying eyes kept. Each time adrenaline fires a shot, an electric shock loosens another wire in the mind. Underneath the skin, thousands of nerve endings exist, and yet eyes without empathy never see beyond shiny facades. Fake is the new black. Anything less than perfect is marked faulty in a world lacking humanity. The slightest hint of vulnerability is a sin. All lives hinge on pins. There is no safety in numbers. Once there is a prick on our skin, do we not all bleed the same? When did society become so inhumane? And these are my personal perspectives, which I write down when I have a thought. Anything less than perfect is frowned upon. And if you want to portray yourself as perfect and not fallible and not vulnerable and not all these things that society classes as weakness, then you're not showing the world your true self. All you're doing is being an actress on a stage. That is all. And I'm afraid I can't act. 2 things, I can't lie and I can't act. I am who I am, and who I am is enough, warts and all. I will see you on Friday. Have a good week. Thank you all so much for being here. It is appreciated always. Your likes, your comments and your shares. Have a good week. I know I've said that more than once. I'll see you on Friday. Bye for now.